Alright, I'm going to have to apologize for the poor lighting here and also the cramped quarters, but over the last month or so, or 2 months, I have gotten a number of questions about the tires on my X748. So a little bit of the backstory on how I ended up with them. So these are R4 Carlisle Track Chiefs. They're I think 6-ply tires. I do have 20 psi in all 4 of them, and the reason I have that much pressure in them, and the reason I have these tires to begin with, is because what I originally purchased this X748 for. I bought this X748 in October of 2014, I think, with 232 hours on it. I bought it from a friend. And I came with the 45 loader, a different 45 loader than what I have. And at the time, for those of you that have been watching my channel for a while, I lived on a 1/4 acre lot in middle of town. And so the reason I bought the X748 is because I knew sometime in my future, due to the job situation where I was at in life and stuff like that, I knew what acreage was in my future. Just didn't know when, mostly because of my job. And so anyway, fast forward to June, late May, early June 2016 or 2016, and we moved into the house we have now. Now, when I bought this machine, obviously a 24 horsepower diesel 4-wheel drive garden tractor doesn't really fit a 1/4 acre lot. So it was kind of a buy for the future, because, you know, when you buy a new house, obviously you're going to spend a lot of money buying a new house. You don't have that much cash. At the time, had the money to buy this machine. So I went ahead and bought it. And my intent was to buy about 5, 6, 7 acres, something like that, and use it to take care of that, and until I got a larger machine to take care of the property, which is what I did. Now, granted, we bought almost 12 acres, mowing a lot more than I thought, hence the reason the 1445 came around. But to go back to the tires, because it helps explain the story here, all what I just told you help explain the stories. Since I didn't need this unit to mow, I decided that I was just going to use it to basically move stuff around. So there are some videos out there of me moving around fenders. That's why I had the forks built for the front of the front end loader. So you see the forks back there. This is also in our house garage, so not a very common place for me to film. Also looks quite a bit cleaner than the shop. But I got to doing research. Really did not like the tires, the H-taps that come on the machines for loader work. For what I was doing, it was mostly on concrete. It was wearing the tires out quite a bit. Because, I mean, if you've used the H-taps on concrete with a loader, you know that they sag, or the sidewall flex is very big. It's hard to operate. At the time, my whole John Deere collection was spread across 3 different storage units that I had to continually move around. And so really I wanted a tire that would work well mostly on hard surfaces, not wear out, and did not have a whole lot of sidewall flex. So I boiled it down to the R4s or the WT300s, also a Carlisle product. The WT300s were pretty new at the time, and I ended up with the R4s. Now, couple comments I will make. I think they look fine. I like these tires overall. Now, my intent was, once I got the 4066, to actually put the H-taps back on this machine, which has obviously not happened yet. One of the reasons that I want to put the H-taps back on here, or I call HDAPS, that's however you want to call them. For a while they were Carlisle's, and now I think Deere is using Kendra or something like that. But those all traction tires. My intent and purpose was to put these back on here, also drop the pressure quite a bit, and kind of go from there. Now, the reason I haven't done it is because I didn't get the 4066 until later in the fall. I didn't get it set up like I wanted. We didn't do a whole lot of mowing this year due to about a month and a half. We didn't get much rain. So I never got the tires switched over. The H-Taps, or the all trails, or whatever you want to call them, the all-terrain tires, they actually do much better in the snow than these very hard tires. In fact, on a couple of my videos with when I'm pushing snow, you can't really tell it on concrete that's nice and clean. But if you've got some ice or anything else like that, these tires will slip a lot more than the normal all trails and everything else. So sorry, I'm kind of standing here one place. Anyway, long story short, the front tires are, like I said, they're the Carlisle Track Chiefs. The front tires are the 18850 8s or 10s, sorry, 18850 10s, and the rears are the 2612 12s. Just like come on stock on the X7s. So now cost, I've been asked how much I paid for these tires. I think it was around 300 or 330 bucks shipped. Now that was over 2 years ago now. Tires always seem to go up a lot faster than I would expect. I mean, these tires have almost 300 hours on them. And I mean, you can see that they're wearing, at least I think that they are wearing pretty well for 300-hour tires, particularly on a four-wheel drive unit that spent a large portion of its time for about a year and a half on concrete. So very happy with these tires as loader tires. I used the X748 almost exclusively for loader duty, aside from snow duty, for almost 2 years. And so it's one of the, a year and a half really. And so I was looking for a loader tire. These are great loader tires. I don't know if they're necessarily great mowing tires. My intent is later this spring is to put the all-terrains back on there, and I'll just put these on a shelf. And you know, if I never need them again, I'll get them out again. I did a complete swap, so I have a full set of rears and a full set of fronts, the tires that came off of this unit. So you know, I don't have to necessarily swap tires, I can just swap rims. Biggest pain is getting those starter weights off the back. So I've got the 72-pound starter weights, and here, I'll just walk back there if you can excuse the mess. We've been doing a little bit of remodeling. You know, I have to take the starter weights off there, which is a little bit of a pain. And then I've got the 50-pound wheel weights on each side. So yeah, I mean, I've never had a problem with them, but I don't think necessarily the best in snow or the best mowing tire, but they are phenomenal at doing loader work. Really, really like them for doing loader work. The sidewall flex in the front, particularly at 20 psi, is almost minimal. And I mean, when you're putting, you know, 700-800 pounds on the front of an X series, I mean, that's the upper limit of what the machine's going to move at any given time, just because of the weight of the tractor itself. So really, the tires have performed really well for loader work. I don't know if I'd recommend them. If you spend 75% of your time every year mowing with your X7, I don't know if I'd recommend them. If you go to a plow day or you're doing a lot of snow work, you know, if you're going to a plow day, I'd say go for your R1 or your ag tires. You know, these are really good all-purpose tires for loaders. They don't leave any tracks in the grass that I've noticed over, I mean, we've put almost 250 hours on this machine, no, 200 hours on this machine mowing. So, you know, certainly not anything I'd be concerned about in terms of mowing. I do wish that I had a 2010 or later with the hydraulic front axle, but that's probably for another video. Switching back and forth is just not my cup of tea, but it is what I have. So anyway, thanks for watching.